People just need to come to these meetings more and get more involved in the community to help prevent more crime.
If you grew up in this area, you know a lot has changed. And with that change comes growth and more crime. Police departments across the area are stepping up their patrols, and they want you to help them out as well. Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker tells us what you need to know.
In cities across the area, people show up to community meetings just like this to learn how to make where they live safer.
A line of communication being open between the police department and the public it serves, and certain crime prevention tips such as locking vehicles, garages, removing valuables from view, and reporting suspicious activity.
At this meeting in Fargo, 19 people showed up representing several different neighborhoods. That doesn't sit well with this woman.
People just need to come to these meetings more and get more involved in the community to help prevent more crime.
Ann Toso says she reports anything suspicious happening in her community and encourages everyone to do the same.
They need to come out to these meetings and talk to the cops and report what they see. If you think it's wrong, it is wrong. Please just report it.
Despite the low turnout, Lieutenant George Vincent says that doesn't mean people aren't interested in keeping their communities safe.
I look at it as we haven't seen a lot of high-profile crimes, save one recently here in Fargo. We don't have a lot of crime sprees in Fargo, and people are busy.
This is where social media comes into play.
That's kind of why we elected to use the Facebook Live presentation so that people could, take in this information at their leisure.
Facebook, Twitter, and Nextdoor are all things police want you to use to keep where you live safe, but social media shouldn't be the only thing you use.
I think they think if they posted on Facebook, they did their part, but really it's not. You need to contact the proper authorities to get things taken care of in your community.
Police agree with Toso. They say by calling them directly through 911 or their non-emergency number, you're going to give officers vital information and get it to them much quicker.
The officers are out being proactive, trying to catch criminals and prevent crimes from happening, but a lot of times they need that help from the community. If they get that tip from the community, that is the piece of information a lot of times that can put us over the top and make us successful.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
Police say you should always contact them directly with tips. They say they do not monitor social media around the clock. And to give you an idea of what types of crimes officers are dealing more often with, we dug up the reports in the FM metro area over the past month. There have been a total of 1,611 incidents reported, including 182 reports of violent crime. There were also 723 reports of property crime. Quality of life crimes, such as disorderly conduct and loitering, numbered 706. Coming up after weather, we bring you the latest on the Las Vegas shooting. Plus, President Trump heads to Puerto Rico to survey Hurricane Maria's damage. We have what he has to say in just a few moments. But first, Robert, it's been a fairly quiet night for us, but could we get cold enough to see some frost overnight?
I don't think we'll see much frost in our area. Far southern counties down into parts of South Dakota could see a touch of frost, but here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, a live look outside on the Coronado.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network. We're seeing a few passing clouds from time to time. Otherwise, it is quiet, albeit a touch breezy from time to time. Temperature 56 degrees with some partly to mostly cloudy skies. Winds out of the west and southwest at 14 miles per hour. Temperatures elsewhere, a mix of some 40s and some 50s. 48 Langdon, Devils Lake, and Jamestown. One more 48 into the Valley City area. 53 in Thief River Falls, 47 Baudette, and 48 over in the Bemidji area. Winds, they have been on the breezy side as we've gone through this evening, especially along and west of the Red River. We'll see a bit of a breeze tonight and through the day tomorrow, primarily out of the west and southwest. We are seeing some cloudiness. The best chance for frost will be down in the southern counties in South Dakota there, in northern South Dakota, into southwest portions of North Dakota, where we could see some frost and freeze conditions out in that area. With the clouds that we do have, no precipitation out there, none anticipated as we head through the overnight hours tonight, nor during the day tomorrow. Most of the northern plains quiet. It's not until you get down into the western portion of the Great Lakes, stretching down into the southern plains, where we're seeing some showers and some thunderstorms, and it's going to be a soggy time but down in this area over the next several days, with a good chance for some showers and thunderstorms. The snow that we had out in the Rockies the last couple of days, that has finally dissipated. For us, not going to have to deal with any snow, but we do have some cloud cover out there. And again, the clouds act kind of like a blanket, going to keep temperatures from bottoming out too cold in this area, but it's down in this area, down into southwest North Dakota. That's where we've got that chance for frost. And maybe even freeze conditions in a few locations. Partly cloudy skies, especially the further north you go. And as we head through the day tomorrow, those clouds, they get on out of here. We're going to see a nice day tomorrow. A little bit breezy. We'll see winds gusting as high as 15 to 20 miles per hour at times, and mostly sunny skies throughout the afternoon. A few clouds late in the day. Here in Fargo, we'll start out the day with a few clouds around. Temperatures in the low 40s by lunchtime, warming on up into the lower 50s. And later on in the day, we'll top it out in the low 60s. Picture of the day, a gorgeous shot, a fall beauty. This is the Turtle River State Park, this up near the Arvilla area. Thanks to Melanie so much for sending that in. We're going to use that as the backdrop to our 7-day forecast. And again, pretty nice day on Wednesday. A little bit of frost possible in the north on a Thursday. And as we head through the next couple of days after that, a few showers Friday. Windy and warmer on Saturday, windy and colder on Sunday, and turning even colder still by Tuesday. And for any folks heading out to Terre Haute for the NDSU game, taking on the Indiana State Sycamores, it looks like a rainy time of it. So pack the rain gear.
Or pack the poncho.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Robert. Well, memorials for the Las Vegas mass shooting victims are popping up around the country as the dead and wounded are identified. Police say they're learning more about Stephen Paddock, the man who killed 58 people and injured more than 500 before taking his own life. CBS News correspondent Kenneth Craig reports from Las Vegas.
New photos from inside the hotel suite where Stephen Paddock staged the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history show him dead on the floor surrounded by spent ammunition. Other photos and video captured various rifles scattered throughout the room. Police found 23 guns and rifles along with 12 bump stocks, devices added to semi-automatic guns that allow rapid firing like fully automatic weapons. Las Vegas officials say from his 32nd floor perch at the Mandalay Bay Casino Resort, Paddock unloaded his weapons on a country music festival below. Police say he set up cameras, including one on a food service cart outside his room.
There was another camera placed inside the hotel room door peephole so that he could see down the hallway.
Paddock once worked for the Postal Service and as an IRS agent. In recent years, he spent his time gambling. Leading up to the shooting, Paddock transferred $100,000 to the Philippines, where his girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, is believed to be now. Police say she is a person of interest and that the FBI is bringing her back to the U.S. on Wednesday.
Officials are analyzing Paddock's computer and cell phone and also reviewing surveillance video. Here at the crime scene, they're picking through what concert goers left behind.
At a memorial along the Las Vegas Strip, people left flowers and embraced.
I'm so fortunate that I made it out. Because it was surreal.
President Trump will visit Las Vegas Wednesday. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Las Vegas.
Police are looking into reports that Paddock was gambling more than $10,000 a day before the shooting, that he may have considered an earlier attack at another music festival. They also believe he recently bought some of his weapons. The death toll continues to rise in Puerto Rico. Hurricane Maria is now blamed for 34 deaths, up from the 16 previously reported. This comes on the same day President Trump traveled to the island to survey the damage and discuss the response. He said Puerto Rico should be proud of its low death toll in comparison to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, which he called a real catastrophe. Nearly 2 weeks after Maria hit, 95% of the island remains without electricity, and food and fresh water are in short supply in many areas. But many people were critical after what seemed to be an insensitive remark about the cost of the emergency aid.
I hate to tell you, Puerto Rico, but you've thrown our budget a little out of whack because we've spent a lot of money on Puerto Rico, and that's fine. We've saved a lot of lives.
The U.S. has deployed 12,000 federal aid workers, and 70% of the island's gas stations are back up and running. North Dakota's Air National Guard is joining relief efforts in the U.S. Virgin Islands, sending approximately 80 tons of equipment. The Guard says 20 airmen from the 119th Wing packed and loaded their disaster relief bed down system onto 6 aircrafts for transport to the U.S. Virgin Islands. The package consists of temporary emergency shelters designed to house 150 people with a place to sleep. It also includes showers, laundry facilities, water purification, generators, and power distribution. 3 members of the 119th Civil Engineer Squadron will head to the U.S. Virgin Islands and hand off the system to units already in place. New for you now at 9, Fargo police are looking for a man on a motorcycle that may have been involved with a shoplifting incident. This is only after he almost hit an officer at Shields tonight. It happened around 7 o'clock at the store just off 45th Street South. Authorities say they were in the parking lot when a female suspected of shoplifting ran out of the store, and that's when officers gave chase and took her into custody of charges of shoplifting and resisting police. Her name has not been released at this time, and after that woman ran out of the store, police say a man that they believe knew the female drove towards the officers. No one was hurt in this incident. Again, we're still working to get a description of the man involved, but police say that he's riding a Harley-Davidson style type of motorcycle. Also new for you now at 9, officials are investigating after a crash between a 3-wheeler and a car led to a Minnesota teen that had to be airlifted to Fargo for treatment. The crash happened just before noon in Cass Lake. The Cass County Sheriff's Office says a 3-wheeler collided with an SUV. One of the riders of the ATV, a 17-year-old boy from Walker, Minnesota, had to be airlifted to a Fargo hospital. The other rider, an 18-year-old woman from Bemidji, and the driver of the SUV, a 66-year-old Cass Lake man, were taken to a local hospital to be treated for her and his injuries. Officials are not releasing the names of the victims until family is notified. The Cass County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in tracking down a woman wanted for parental kidnapping. Authorities say Trisha Taylor is wanted for kidnapping and a probation violation. Court records show she served 2 years in jail for a parental kidnapping conviction back in 2015. Now, those records also show Taylor lives in Isabel, South Dakota. According to the Cass County State's Attorney's Office, her probation officer filed a petition to revoke her probation on September 25th, claiming that Taylor had left the state of North Dakota and not returned the children involved. Those claims led to an arrest warrant being issued the next day. We are still working to get more information from authorities about where Taylor may be headed, so stick with Valley News Live for further updates. A Minnesota man is behind bars after being arrested last week for his 28th DWI. A criminal complaint says a New York Mills police officer spotted 64-year-old Danny Betcher leave the VFW and then drive away. Betcher was later seen running a stop sign and swerving on Highway 10. Police say Betcher was driving about 10 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. Betcher has been charged with DWI and refusing to submit to a breath test. A story of amazing grace. A North Dakota man who was blind can now see. We've got his story still ahead tonight.